mandates need to end. It's ruining families. It's ruining small businesses. It's not even about the vaccines. These truckers are fighting for all of Canada's rights, and enough is enough, and it needs to end. There's so many people suffering because of this pandemic, and COVID is not going anywhere. It's here to stay, just like a flu, just like the cold. It's here to stay. So it needs to end. So what these truckers are doing is very, very commendable, and I support them 150%. We're so proud to be Canadian right now. We have our USA friends from the South helping us, and it's about time we've both united again, and it just feels so good.
Well, the mandates and stuff are all illegal, against the law. We just need to take our country back. Enough is enough, right? 14 days flatten the curve, it's almost 2.5 years later. So too much.
Freedom!
6 months ago, they said 75% vaccinated will reopen. It's 90% vaccinated. It's time to reopen.
Yeah.
Time to reopen Ontario.
Right.
Enough is enough. We want freedom for ourselves and for our children.
For the world.
And for everybody. Right. Every day they cross the border. Bring us our goods and services every day. Mandating vaccines on truckers is wrong.
On anyone.
Inflation is through the roof.
Yeah.
Inflation is through the roof. And it will continue to increase if they keep the mandates on the truckers. Okay? We need our truckers, we need our food, we need our kids to go to school.
Yes, the vaccine mandate is immoral, unethical, and illegal, and should be struck down immediately. We've been working really hard. I volunteer with Liberty Coalition Canada, and it's an organization that is promoting freedom and to strike down all the mandates. A word to Canadians would be to find your voice. Now is the time to stand up and to push back so we can regain our freedoms.
It's important to stand up for everyone's right to refuse, because if you won't stand up for someone else's right, then you'll lose your own right. Maybe you agree with this vaccine, but if you won't support our right to refuse it, you will lose the right to refuse any other vaccine in the future or any other medical treatment that you don't want.
We're here for everyone, both the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. It doesn't matter.
If you're wondering about stories, I mean, there are countless stories out there of people being booted off sports teams, of people losing their jobs, like the thousands of truckers that are here today. It's a single group of people that are being oppressed for no reason because they're posing no risk to anybody else. But they want a scapegoat for this COVID-19.
Freedom! 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 Freedom!
I don't care about the cold. My blood is all boiled and fired up for this. I'm proud to be Canadian today, standing beside our truckers. It's time that we make a change. We've had enough. The Canadian people had it. This is our right to choose, and it's time to step up to the plate and fight back. And that's what us Canadians are doing. And this has gone worldwide now.
Yeah,
we have had it.
Well, you know what? We got to come out and support, and the truckers are doing a good job of bringing a lot of attention to this. So we felt the need to come down and help support and get in on some of the action. There's lots of people taking the day off, and being out here where it's nice and cold, and it's so nice to see so many like-minded people out here. It's been really great to see, actually, all around. It's more the fact that I think the more people that understand that not everybody is compliant in this, not everybody agrees that these should be mandated, not everybody agrees that vaccines, this particular one, in fact, is a good thing. So when I see more like-minded people out here that have done their own research, done their third-party stuff, and realize there's something going on here that, you know, we need to have more attention brought to it, I just couldn't sit at home and not partake. We needed to get here and help. The mandates, I think, are awful. I'm not anti-vaccine at all. I'm up to date with all my other vaccines. I don't feel that this is a vaccine. This is a shot. There's enough question marks around this thing and the mandates that are being pushed on us that I am not in all support of. A lot of my friends and family are, but I am not. And these mandates, I think, are awful. Like, I thought we lived in a free country up until a short period of time. It used to be my body, my choice, and now it's no, it's our body that we're going to put into whatever we want. And that's not the Canada I grew up in, and I'm not in support of that at all.
Yeah, it's a very cold day, but I think it's worth having fighting for our freedoms, no matter how cold it is. It's for our kids. It's for the future of our children. The mandates are horrible. I think it's the worst thing that Canada's ever done to their people in recent history. I support the truckers because the future for our children. You know, our children need to grow up in a free world, in a free society where they can express their own feelings and not be mandated to follow the government's tyranny. I'm actually very proud. I'm very happy how many people showed up. It actually brings a tear to my eye to see how many Canadians actually support this. The mainstream media tells you it's only about 20% of Canadians supporting this cause, but I think there's maybe 5% that don't support this cause, because we see the reactions across the country of people on every overpass, on the side of the roads. You can see here, there's thousands of people here, and it's incredible. I'm very proud to be a Canadian today.
I think the mandates are horrible. Why should there be any mandates? Why should they mandate what stores we can go into? Why should they mandate why we need to wear a mask everywhere we go? Why should they mandate how many people I can have in my home at any time? It's ridiculous.
Now to come back into Canada, if you're non-vaccinated, well, for starters, you got to be quarantined for 14 days. It's going to hit a supply chain pretty hard. Yeah, you figure if you do one load out and then you come back and you got to sit home for 14 days, that's a lot of revenue lost, a lot of revenue.
It's taken a lot of people who were 2 years ago, the essential workers were heroes. And now 2 years later, we've all become zeros. And that's not fair. And the government overreach is just, he's gone too far. They have gone too far. They don't live in the real world like the rest of us. And we got to do something. And you got to change either, we can't change the bureaucrats because we can't vote them in and out. But we can change the politicians. And if they don't get their act together, there'll be a lot of unemployment. And that's what I'm hoping for.
Thousands of truckers from all across Canada are slow rolling to the doorsteps of their federal government. They're demanding an end to COVID-19 vaccine mandates and other pandemic restrictions. Convoys of truckers and other vehicles set out from different regions over the weekend, with the goal of converging in Ottawa, the nation's capital, on January 29th. Organisers estimate over 10,000 drivers are participating in the demonstration, and more are on the way. And not just from other parts of Canada, but also the United States. Both the Canadian and US governments recently imposed vaccine mandates for foreign nationals entering their countries. This includes cross-border truckers. For non-citizens, no vaccine means no entry. And while Canada is allowing its unvaccinated citizens in, they then have to quarantine for 14 days. Now, Canadian and American truckers, both vaccinated and unvaccinated, are banding together to oppose the mandate, saying people have the right to choose. Organisers told the Epoch Times that the American truckers will meet at several points along the US-Canada border on Saturday, when the Canadian drivers arrive in Ottawa. Meeting points are located in Montana, Michigan, North Dakota, New York, and Maine. Meanwhile, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Wednesday night decried the views of the truckers making their way to Parliament Hill.
The small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing do not represent the views of Canadians who have been there for each other, who know that following the science and stepping up to protect each other is the best way to continue to ensure our freedoms, our rights, our values as a country.
The Canadian Trucking Alliance has also said it doesn't support and strongly disapproves of the demonstration. Other critics have warned it could block roads. But the truckers aren't short of support. From videos posted online, it appears the drivers are being welcomed and cheered on in every town they pass through. In some cases, even with fireworks. A Facebook group called Convoy to Ottawa 2022 has over 700,000 members, and messages of support have poured in from over 70 countries. Numerous Canadians are expressing their gratitude to the truckers and saying they're placing their hopes in them to end the mandates. Many are also baking and making meals for the drivers. The Convoy's GoFundMe campaign, launched on January 14th, has reached over $6 million. Organizers say this money will be distributed to drivers to help cover travel costs and food. There's no official tally yet, but if the estimates are correct, these truckers could form the longest convoy in world history. According to the Guinness World Records, the longest truck convoy ever recorded was 7.5 kilometers long, over 4.5 miles. In comparison, the Canadian convoy from the west is said to be at least 62 miles long. A number of rally participants and supporters are saying that no matter the outcome of the demonstration, the feeling of unity sparked by the movement will stay. Grace Coulter, NTD News, New York.